come right. I always felt that Mean Streets 2 was a picture that was in the tradition of the Warner Brothers gangster films, in a way. But Goodfellas is a better example because it was made in 91 or 90, I think. And we very simply trace the lineage right to the 40s of the gangster films by Raoul Walsh, the films coming out of Warner Brothers, particularly Roaring Twenties, down to through the 30s, but particularly two films, Scarface and Public Enemy. In Scarface, you have an interesting situation where these characters were really despicable.
Wenn Sie die Filme gesehen haben, das kommt so selten und so wenig vor. Viel zu wenig, wenn man es ganz genau nimmt. Denn,
well, part of the job. We don't do it all the time. I mean, I haven't done a junket in 5 years, so it's interesting to see how the technology changes.
To find that you were going to the coast, I thought that you were in England. But I was in England all last year. I was playing Shakespeare at Stratford-on-Avon.
Vous savez, moi j'adore finalement ce qui est nouveau, ce qui apporte quelque chose au cinéma. Ça, pour ça, je ferais n'importe quoi.
Une attraction de fête foraine.
Fête foraine, ça c'est sûr.
Well, let me just introduce this one element. When you go to the Lyceum, to the high school in Austria, where I went to high school, you have a choice. You have to take a dead language, either Latin or Greek, and...
Général Morillon, qui était là à cette projection, et lui, il trouvait le film incroyablement juste. Il m'a dit, on voit que vous avez vraiment côtoyé l'armée, que vous avez dû filmer des documentaires, parce que c'est tellement juste, c'est exactement ce qu'on éprouve dans les batailles. Je lui dis, mon général, je suis désolé de vous décevoir, j'ai jamais fait mon service militaire, je lui ai dit tout ce que je vous ai dit. Et il m'a dit, mais comment est-ce qu'on arrive à une telle vérité comme ça? Et je lui ai dit, l'imagination, mon général.
What I owed my longevity to. Surgery was my answer. I can manage well enough horizontally, but vertically I fall apart. Leaping up a waterfall, for instance. On bad days, I compare myself to a salmon back on the spawning grounds after his final trip to the sea.
And I thought about that a lot. I said, well, what is the future of the cinema? And I thought it broke down into three categories. The first is the script, because the script, be it a script, a play, or a novel, is always being reinvented. You think of the novel, what is it, 400 years old? The earliest novels, Don Quixote and Elective Affinities, speaking of Goethe.
Quasi le nozze d'argento, perché sono 24 anni che ho fatto il film, e poi l'avvio della mia carriera, un avvio felice perché era quello che volevo fare. Io sono nato con il neorealismo, e quindi però ho sempre pensato che il cinema, secondo me, era appunto la proposta dell'avventura, del mito.
Écoutez, monsieur, ce film peut être considéré comme controversial pour la raison suivante. À la première du film au Colisée, j'ai vu un monsieur, un spectateur, qui très gravement déployait un journal, sortait une boîte d'allumettes, craquait l'allumette, mettait le feu au journal, avec l'intention absolument évidente de ficher le feu à la salle. Eh bien, je pense qu'un film qui provoque de telles réactions est un film controversial.
I don't know, I've tried to figure it out. I am really a coward. I know I am. So that's why I did foolish things. And I was decorated 8 or 9 times. Trying to prove that I was not a coward. But after it's all over, I still know that I was a coward. I've always found that the little quiet little man that nobody pays any attention to.
The problem with the film is that suddenly when you have a fantastic castle, fantastic garden, people in tuxedos and in bridal dresses.
J'ai été contacté pour aider à la promotion d'un film. C'était Les Tontons Tringleurs. Et c'était un monsieur que je connaissais bien, qui l'a produit, qui l'a réalisé. Et il voulait qu'au dernier Hôte d'Or, j'aille à sa table pour faire la promotion du film. J'ai quand même pas été jusque-là.
Thank you all very much. I'd like to thank the members of the Academy. I also have a bit of advice for my fellow directors And that's next time out, get a script by David Ward.
He thought the most difficult and challenging thing about directing a film was getting out of the car. I'm sure you all know the feeling.
You know, when I step aboard this thing, I yawn. I'm just completely relaxed the minute I step aboard.
Right, that's right.
Yes. I was, I had a visual appreciation for scenes in Chicago. I mean, just driving under a steel bridge on a rainy night, or you know, the spaces, the way snow, you know, kind of fell on the prairie outside Chicago. But I never put that together with doing anything in a visual medium. And then I took a film. I was an English major, kind of caught in the anguish of not having any idea what I wanted to do with my life. And I took a film history course, myself and a couple of friends. And I remember walking down, this is the University of Wisconsin in Madison, walking down Bascom Hill at about 10 o'clock at night on a freezing, crystal clear night where you could see every star in the sky.
And he had forgotten more about the movie business than anybody ever knew. And he was the one that inspired me to keep moving cameras and do this. And he said, you can do it. You just...
I would say that John and I are very good friends. We get along very well. Our relationship started in about 1946 when we made Red River. And Red River had a lot of influence on Wayne's career. And he's one of the men that are truly grateful for that fact. I call him and say, Duke, I've got a story. He says, fine, when do we start shooting? I don't have to tell him the story.
As I say, you can make a case for it enhancing our sense of empathy for people. You know, I mean, it's easy to say, oh, we're being desensitized because we see a lot of it. But I don't really think that's the function. You know, that's something that's been mentioned to me because my earlier films were all horror films.
Et je ne m'intéresse aux choses que quand le cœur est en jeu. Je ne suis pas un intellectuel, je n'aime pas les intellectuels et je pense beaucoup plus avec le cœur qu'avec la tête.
Vous savez, René Clément, que vous déconcertez la plupart de vos confrères. Ils ne vous comprennent pas toujours très bien. Ils voient certains de vos films et ils disent comment a-t-il fait? Ils pensent que vous devriez faire d'autres films que ceux que vous faites et peut-être que ce sont eux qui devraient faire les vôtres. À votre avis, pourquoi est-ce que vous les déconcertez? Vous êtes au courant de ça?
Oui, en effet, je le vois en ce sens que ici en France, on semble moins me comprendre qu'à l'étranger. Il semblerait que c'est le fait de parler la même langue. Vous savez, c'est quand on regarde une couleur avec la même couleur. Maintenant, peut-être est-ce que cela vient de ce que j'essaye autant que possible de ne faire que ce qui me plaît.
Life is a big mystery, isn't it? It always has been. I think people are intrigued by mystery to find out about things they don't know anything about. That's a mystery.
Who was taken to be out of his mind because he'd given me this contract, which made the making of these films possible. And stopping me or proving my incompetence would have won their case. Mr. Hearst was quite a bit like Cain, although Cain isn't really founded on Hearst in particular. There are many people sat for it, so to speak. But he was like Cain in that he wouldn't have stooped to such a thing. But he had many hatchet men, editors and representatives of this great network of newspapers all over the country.